In the bosom of motherhood. Okay. I slowly opened my eyes. An unfamiliar ceiling, the scent of a freshly washed pillowcase. Everything around me seemed different from the norm. It was a bizarre feeling like I had never experienced before. A feeling that something was wrong, but I couldn't quite tell what. Where am I? I turned my head and looked around. Some sort of room. The bed beneath my body. That's about all I could figure out. Everything else remained a mystery. I gathered all my strength and turned to get up from the bed I was lying on. Intense pain immediately shot through my body. I couldn't even understand where the pain was coming from. Every joint in my body, my muscles, my insides, all of them were crying out in excruciating pain. I writhed in agony. What's wrong? You should be laying still. The door opened and a woman rushed into the room. She knelt down. You are? You don't remember? Enduring the pain coursing through my body, I took a closer look at the woman's face. I'm sorry. Have we met before? She frowned as a confused look appeared on her face. Oh dear. I wonder if it's amnesia. Amnesia? Something. I took a good look at the woman. Brown skin with ash brown eyes. Her features didn't give you the impression that she was a typical Japanese person. Maybe she was half Japanese? In any case, I can definitely say that I haven't met her before. I'm really sorry. It's alright, you have nothing to apologize for. You probably hit your head. Falling from as high up as you did is no wonder. Falling? A shiver ran down my spine as that word left her mouth. The buried memories resurfaced one by one as a myriad of images ripped through my mind. Wait, falling? We crashed. I guess that does count as falling. The guy fell as well. The plane filled with agonized screams, the terrible explosion, scorching crimson flames, the thick black smoke, and that tiny palm I held in my right hand. The palm pleading desperately for my help. Cocoro, I'm scared. I'm so scared. Help me, Cocoro. Where is he? Where's that boy? Did he make it? He made it, didn't he? I threw off the blanket and jumped off the bed. But the next moment... The scorching pain once again ran through my body, draining any remaining strength that had left. And once again I collapsed into the bed. Come now, can't you see your body isn't ready to move yet? The look of hers filled with love and affection reminded me of the Virgin Mary. A gentle smile so kind, so beautiful, a smile so charming, it even made me slightly jealous of her. She carefully tucked my back into bed. Whoops. Amazingly, when the palm of her hand touched my neck, the pain and anxiety started to subside. Excuse me, could you please tell me what happened to the boy sitting beside me? Beside you? Whoops. Beside you? What do you mean beside you? The plane crashed. There should have been a boy sitting beside me. He was 11 years old. His name was Kasuda Uni. When I said that, her expression suddenly changed. What is this? How would you know about him? What do you mean by how? A boy named Kasuda Uni just happened to be sitting in the same seat beside me. That's enough. What are you people plotting? Plotting? You people? I couldn't understand what she was saying. When our eyes met again, her expression had become cold and stiff as she stared at me sharply. There was no longer any trace of that Mary-like countenance to be seen anywhere on her face. Who are you? Why are you really here? Why am I here? That's what I'd like to know. Who am I? Well, at least that's one question I could probably answer. I was intimidated by Koa's attitude, but I was able to lift my body and start talking to her. My name is Fuyukawa. I was one of the passengers in a plane that crashed. Before I could finish, a strong slap flew across my cheek. Stop messing around. There is something you shouldn't joke about. The woman's voice had become hoarse. Her fingers and hands shook. I was dumbfounded with no idea as to what was going on. Just what had struck a nerve with her. Was she hurt by something I said? I see, so this was all a trick, wasn't it? All those odd things you said a while ago made me curious at first, but that was just a part of your act, wasn't it? Don't make me laugh. You're supposed to be a medium or shaman performing a channeling or something. If you were going to put on such a cheap act, Wouldn't it have been better if you would just ask me straight out, right from the start? You know everything, don't you? I boldly opened my mouth. I think you're probably misunderstanding something. Please just stop already. Stop with this shameless act of yours. But I'm not acting at all. Then what are you planning? Why would you use that name, Fuyukawa Cocoro? Because that's my real name. I'm a third year at the Kumaikan Women's University, Fuyukawa Cocoro. I was on an airplane. God damn it. I was on an airplane going to Wakanai when an accident occurred. Stop it! How could you possibly be Fuyukawa Cocoro? She declared firmly, face distorted in agony, tears of desperation welling in her beautiful ash-brown stuff. But as I was still trying hard to hang on, I gathered my own strength. She hit me with something I in no way expected. Is it really that much fun pretending to be someone who's dead? What? You're still trying to play dumb now, even now. The girl named Fuyukawa Cocoro is no longer in this world. She's dead. But of course, you should already know that, right? No. Dead? What does she mean by dead? I was right here, wasn't I? I was still alive right here, right now, wasn't I? I was pretty much certain I was still alive. But why would she make up a lie like that? Yes, a lie. She must have been lying. But even as I thought that, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't fight off the chill creeping on my back. I couldn't find a single word to say. In any case, even though I don't know what your plan is just yet, if you really want to put one over on me, I hope you'll at least try to do a better job at it. Leaving with a look of disdain, the woman walked towards the door. There is one thing I wanted to say, though. She stopped at the door, then turned around and continued. Now that things have come this far, I have no intention of stopping with my plan. So don't you dare get in my way. What? What plan? I didn't get to read that. The closed-off structure. In those quiet words she left behind, amongst other things, I could feel a distinct sense of sadness. Okay. The closed-off structure. After the woman left the room, I became lost in my thoughts. There were lots of things I wanted to think through. However, I didn't know where to start, and I definitely didn't have enough information to make sense at all. I don't know anything. Where am I? Is Uni safe? Who's that woman? If I ever wanted to find out, I couldn't just stay here alone with my thoughts. I dragged my injured body out of the room. The scene in front of my eyes were quite surprising. A modern dining table and a set of rather uncomfortable-looking chairs. Looking around, I noticed an induction cooker and a deep sink. Deciding to explore further, I entered a sizable open-plan living area. A sofa of clean, simple design stood in the center, and a huge plasma screen took up the wall. A spacious room with a high ceiling and window. At first, it gave off an air of freedom. Its straight, sharp lines, however, make you feel a sense of tension and strain there. There are no signs of life in this living area, nor is there any warmth. Just what is this place? I'd expected to see hospital trolleys everywhere, but it seems I was mistaken. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen any medical equipment since I stepped into the room I woke up in. This place isn't a hospital. But if it isn't a hospital, what is it? So you really don't remember anything about me or this facility? Facility? Facility for what? I was becoming more curious by the moment. I wandered around the room aimlessly, inspecting it more closely. There was a window in the kitchen. The window spanned the length of the wall from the floor to the ceiling. Beyond the window spread a darkness darker than black. Occasionally sparkling lights could be seen floating downwards, most like snow. There wasn't much more to be seen from that window, except for the reflection of the room I was in. Something resembling a computer stood on the desk, near a divider between the living area and the kitchen floor. I say, something resembling a computer because there was no actual computer anywhere to be seen. A 17-inch display monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse are all that stands on the slick white desk. The cables from the equipment made their way through the flooring. It could be an all-in-one computer. There's a huge door for the front entrance and 4 other more plain-looking doors. In the corner of the kitchen there's also a staircase with a handrail leading somewhere downwards. After walking around the room on the wobbly legs, I tried to make a floor plan out in my mind. This is probably going to be important. I'm going to take a screenshot of it. Although, with that said, this image is most likely far from perfect. And that woman that I saw before seems to have disappeared. My joints produce sharp bursts of pain whenever I move, but I don't feel like returning to the room I woke up in. Okay. It's the front entrance. That's the steps, table, counter, the small steps. Basement stairs. What's that, fruit shelf, actually? I couldn't read it properly at first. So where's the entrance to the bedroom? Is that the top left area? Like, there's a half circle thing there. I'm guessing so. I decided to, I'll try leaving the main entrance, investigate the doors. Decided to investigate the doors. They were placed near the four corners of the square space that made up the kitchen and the living area. The first door in the upper left corner of the plan was the door I came out of before, so there was no need to investigate it. There were 3 doors remaining. First, I decided to take a look behind the door to the right of the main entrance. No one in there, but the white lamp hanging from the ceiling lights the room brightly. The room has no soul, so to say, but it feels as if there are definitely people living here. I quietly placed my right hand on the door frame to lean in and look inside. As I thought, the room was empty. Was it just my imagination? With that thought in my mind, I left the room. Let's see now. What should I do next? Go down the stairs. I opened the door. Ethereal girl. Okay, that's not a new scene. Apparently this place is being used as a storeroom. There are provisions, fuel, medical supplies, miscellaneous daily supplies, all sorts of equipment and so on, evenly spaced and neatly placed on the shelves. There's a bare pipe stretched across the ceiling. There wasn't a single window in the concrete walls. A basement, huh? If this is the basement, then that would mean the floor I was just on was the first floor. I was only beginning to comprehend things little by little, but because I had no idea what was up with the situation I was in now, even this was an important discovery to me. I heard a sound like a groan coming from somewhere, a low mechanical tone that shook me to the core. I didn't know what the sound was. Ignoring it for now, I slid into the spaces between the shelves, as if weaving myself through a crowd in a rush hour. It was about as wide as the floor above. There wasn't any places I could call interesting, and I didn't think that anyone could be hiding anywhere around here. Wait. I heard a faint sound. It sounded like a small animal running around. Perhaps a rat that had been settled on here. When it comes to rats, I can't handle them. I wouldn't say that I can't handle rats. However, I had an interest in looking for one so I could capture it. Had no interest. I returned to the first floor. Seriously? But before I could finish climbing the stairs, I felt someone's presence. As I glanced out from the kitchen, I saw the figure of a girl sitting silently in a dining chair. The girl had her head bowed. I couldn't make out her face from here, but I was pretty certain it wasn't the brown-skinned woman I met earlier. I tried to loosen up. Excuse me. Calling out, I approached her. There's something I'd like to ask you. The girl showed no reaction. She merely sat there without moving a muscle, as if she had been carefully placed there by someone, like a figure at a wax museum. I'm sorry, are you listening? I stood right beside her and bent over to look at her face. I gazed sharply and jumped back. I dashed back to where the stairs were. Misstepping, my foot slipped. I grabbed the handrail for a moment to regain my balance. My other hand was already covering my mouth. If not for that, I think I surely would have screamed. That's impossible. Why? Why was that girl in a place like this? Is it the Shadow Girl? She turned as delicately as whatever. There's no mistake. The girl in front of me was unmistakably her. That girl who had murdered 12 innocent people in a hospital in Naruzumi City. Inabushi Kaiko. There's no way I could possibly forget that face. As if to say hello, Inabushi slightly nodded her head. I awkwardly turned to nod. I have to say something. I knew exactly how I felt, but it seemed as if I had completely forgotten how to speak out loud. Such situations are often attributed to a lump in the throat, or the lips becoming too dry. But this was different. I had literally forgotten how to utter a word. In front of my eyes was the murderous monster, a serial killer who had single-handedly rewritten the definition of crime in Japan. I felt that if I were to let my guard down for even a moment, I could easily become the 13th victim. My heart was pounding hard, and my skin was tingling, as if an electric current was running through it. The awkward silence continues. Inabushi kept staring at me expressionlessly. Her face was devoured by any emotion. It was hard to tell if she was thinking anything at all. I tried to hide my panic behind a calm smile. I don't think I was very much good at it. Both my cheeks became stiff like plaster. Then, the girl returned the smile. It was a very natural, sincere smile. I thought it was safe to let my guard down a bit. Of course, not so far as to let her read me like a book. But after seeing such a gentle smile, there was really little I could do. Although my reasoning was trying hard to build up a strong, impenetrable wall, my instinctive curiosity took the best of me. I was climbing over the protective wall and taking a step forward into danger. Inabushi-san, you're Inabushi Kaiko, right? My voice quivered. The girl stayed silent, as if she didn't understand what I just said. Inabushi-san, right? I asked the same question again, but the girl was just tilted her head. It couldn't be a different person. No, that's impossible. She looks exactly like her. I asked indirectly. How should I say this, you were the one behind the incident at Wazumi. Right? Or am I wrong? She looked as if she was lost in thought. You're lying, right? I know all about it, okay? The truth is I did some research regarding the incident. As if trying to gauge her reaction, I slowly stuttered through the sentence. But Inabushi Kaiko just kept looking at me with her mouth shut. She didn't even look the least bit flustered. She tilted her head as if in wonder, and gave me a quick glance and averted her gaze. She threw me a second glance, and at that moment, as if having lost her temper, the girl stood. She turned my way and started walking vigorously towards me. Flinching, my face twitched as I shrank away. In what seemed like a moment, she had me back against the wall. And even then, the girl didn't stop moving. Breaking through my protective wall and ignoring all my warning senses, she entered my personal space. There was nothing more to be done. She was at a distance that would make any kind of resistance futile. What are you doing? Immediately after I squeezed out those words, the girl firmly gripped both my shoulders. I tried to scream, took a deep breath. Before I could let out a sound, the girl covered my lips with her palm. It's all over. I braced myself and squeezed my eyelids tightly shut. Nothing happened. Timidly, I opened my eyes. Now that I look carefully at her face looks as if she's on the verge of breaking down in tears. Her moist pupils seem to be eagerly appealing to me before something. Just what is this supposed to mean? I didn't know what was going on, but at least I didn't feel any danger or hostility. My stiff body, my stiff body slowly regained its power to move. At the same time, the girl removed her hand from my lips. What? What is it that you want to say? While giving me a look which was apparently asking me for something, the girl shook her head back and forth. What is it? Even when trying to ask for something, the girl spoke no words. Again, all she did was shake her head. I won't be able to understand if you keep sounding like that. Say something, anything. The girl pointed to her own throat. She can't speak, can she? A gesture? Gesture? If that's it, this action probably means... You can't speak? Yes, the girl nods over and over again. In short, she isn't able to speak. However, this wasn't all she wanted to tell me. After I deciphered her last thought, the girl had stuck out the palm of her hand towards me. Wait here is what that probably meant. Okay, I get it, but... Oh my god, I'm actually curious, if she's mute, are there going to be points in the game where she makes gestures and I have to assume I know what they mean, and I have to choose the right option? And if I don't, then something bad's going to happen? Where are you going? Without answering, the girl left me by side. Left my side. She's looking around the kitchen restlessly in search of something. Suddenly looking as if she had found something, she ran to one of the doors in the four corners of the room. The girl's figure disappeared behind the door. It was a room I had entered before. After a few moments, the girl jumped out of the doorway. Looking confused, she beckons me over. Did something happen? I rushed over to her. Ow, ow, ow. The pain I'd forgotten about was most likely coming from my limping knee. Somehow rallying my strength, I managed to reach the open door. The girl went inside as if calling for me to come with her. There was nobody inside the room beside us. Nothing had changed. After I had glanced around the room, Inabushi Kaiko had tilted her neck as if to point to something. She had a black felt tip pen in her right hand and a size A6 memo pad in her left. She had most likely found them somewhere in this room. She pushed the memo pad against the wall and started to write with the black felt tip pen. Before she finished writing, I took a peek at the lines and she had already scrawled on the page. To make out the following. There are lots of things I want to tell you. Before that, look over there. Over there? With the tip of the pen, she pointed to the corner of the room. Huh? There was nothing that felt very particular or special about the room. Stretching, she held the pen high. The tip of the pen pointed towards the bed on the other side of the room. Was she trying to say there was something hiding over there? Feeling uneasy, I advanced towards the back of the room, following her directions. I went around to the side of the bed facing the window and stopped. It was at that moment, something wriggling jumped into my field of vision. Simply, I turned my head towards it. Uni? Uni, you were saved! I blurted it out spontaneously. Took a closer look, there was no mistaking it. Sitting in front of me was Uni. The boy had been searching for so desperately. Wrapped up in a blanket, Uni sat crouched in the narrow space between the bed and the wall. Are you alright? Are you hurt? As I knelt down in front of him, I put my hands on his shoulders. What my palms felt was really real. He's alive, right here, now. I gave thanks from the bottom of my heart for this blessing. My heart was racing from the joy of our reunion. A feeling of excitement ran through my body, powered by the hot blood charging through my veins. I could no longer hold myself back. My body rushed towards him, and I wanted to hold him tightly in my arms. But... Who? Who? That one word escaping from his lips stopped me dead in my tracks. Who are you? What do you mean, Uni? It's me, don't you remember? I was sitting right beside you when the plane crashed. My voice was high and shrill with confusion. Uni's hollow, lifeless eyes were staring off somewhere. They appeared lost, not focused on anything in particular. Are you mistaking me for someone else? I have no idea who you are. How? But you are Kasudi Uni-kun, right? My name? How did you... Because you see... I swallowed the words I was going to say, stopping in the middle of my sentence. I suddenly realized something. The situation, the conversation. They were all too similar to those which had taken place a short while ago, in that hospital room with that strange, moody woman. I had no idea who she was, but it seemed like she knew something about me. And now, although I clearly remembered Uni, he didn't seem to have any clue as to who I was. Although the roles were switched, the situation was basically the same. Now that I think about it, the woman's expression only changed when I mentioned the name Kasuda Uni. And now the person right in front of me was also questioning me as to why I knew his name. What the heck is going on? Was it a bad idea for me to admit I knew Uni, I wonder? I looked at him again. His eyes were pointed somewhere behind me, as if they were staring at something far away. His expression was void to all emotion. In my head, I could still remember how he had played so innocently and cheerfully with the doll, a small plush bear. I felt as if I'd just lost something incredibly precious to me. I see you've forgotten. Or maybe it's for the best. For the best? What had happened on the plane? I wish you could forget that as well. Just a moment. I don't quite understand what you're trying to say. I haven't forgotten anything. From the time I got into the plane right up until the crash, everything. I remember everything. It took a while for me to digest these words. In short, what that meant was, Uni remembered everything about the flight and the crash. However, he had no memory of me. Anyway, I believe there's been a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? I'm pretty sure I could have forgotten anything mixed up. I was very certain I knew Uni. May I ask a question? My thoughts were interrupted by his whispering. The other people, what happened to them? You were on that plane as well, weren't you? I was unable to speak. My confusion had left me at a loss for words, as it was needless to say. His question didn't make things any easier for me. My memory stops at the point just before the crash. I probably lost consciousness from the immense impact when I came to. I found myself on the bed in that strange room. I see. He seemed to have made sense of something simply listening to my silence. His lips trembled as he mumbled something. He went pale, his expression clouding over. From his pupils, large round teardrops started to form and shake haphazardly, sparkling in the light. It looked as if he hadn't lost any of his emotions after all. He had just tried to seal them. Up deep in his heart. I'm sorry, but if you figure anything out, could you please tell me? You see, I've been looking for a certain person. A person named Cocoro. Family name was Fuyukawa. I think it was Fuyukawa. What? Okay. I couldn't believe my ears. My body started trembling nervously. I tried to calm myself down at first, but then realized I had no control over it and simply gave in. So it wasn't just that dark-skinned woman who was acting strange. Even Uni didn't recognize me as Fuyukawa Cocoro. To have my whole existence simply denied like that was frightening, to say the least. Is something wrong? Uni asked in a delicate voice. I am... Yeah, go on. Couldn't help but tell him again. That I myself am Fuyukawa Cocoro. No one else, only the me who's right here, right now, the true me. Uni, listen carefully, okay? The person you're looking for the passenger named Fuyukawa Cocoro, she survived. Really? Yes. Then Cocoro's alive. Where's she right now? Let me see her. Can you take me to her? Uni seemed to take heart from this, and he moved closer to me. I knew it would most likely be useless, but I couldn't help saying it. She's right here. She's right here. Fuyukawa Cocoro's right here. It's me. I'm Cocoro. As I told him that, the pupils behind his glasses sharpened. His face showed neither suspicion nor doubt, but a complete and undenial. Uni glared at me, his expression hostile. Hey, what's all this nonsense you're trying to tell me? How can you possibly be Fuyukawa Cocoro? That was the second time I'd heard those words. As expected, he didn't slap me or anything, but his sudden change of attitude pointed to the fact that that was the least of what he wanted to do right now. I expected you'd say something like that, but it's the truth. Regardless of what anyone says, I'm unmistakably, undoubtedly, and truly Fuyukawa Cocoro. I see. Whoops. I don't know if you're trying to make fun of me, but I won't be fooled so easily. Now that I think about it, I never really told you that, did I? Cocoro's a girl. Uni now had a triumphant look on his face, the meaning of which I didn't quite understand. And so? So it means exactly that. No matter how I look at you, there's no way I can think of you as a girl. Wait. Like, we're a guy? What? Changing the way you speak a little is hardly enough to fool me. If you're going to try and trick me, the least you could do is try to look the part. Look the part? Now that he mentions it, it has come to my attention that ever since I woke up, I hadn't had the chance to even glance at myself in the mirror. I was wearing clothes I didn't recognize at all, and it wasn't just my clothes that seemed alien to me. The 10 brutish fingers, the well-defined blood vessels crisscrossing the back of my hand, their rugged silhouette. I ran my fingers through my hair and only noticed that its length and texture didn't feel like mine at all. Still not grasping the situation, I swallowed hard and turned to Uni, almost crying out. Hey, you had a mirror with you, right? A mirror? You should have one, shouldn't you? How did you know? Never mind that, just hurry up and give it to me. Still confused, Uni quickly took out his folding mirror. I quickly snatched it and stared at it intently. Oh! No way! Why? Oh! To say I was astonished would be a gross understatement. Reflected in the mirror was the face of an unfamiliar man. Oh, what? This isn't me. That's Satoru. It isn't me, it isn't me, it isn't me, it isn't me. The inside of my head was spinning, mixed, shaken, and blended by the confusion overwhelming me. I need to see my face. My movements, disfigured and distorted, are reflected almost perfectly on the face of the man in the mirror I'm holding. What is this? How? Why did this happen? The eyes of the man in the mirror bulged like a lunatic's. He was looking straight into my eyes. I couldn't bear it anymore. I violently clamped the mirror shut and threw it against the wall with all the strength I had. I fell to my knees, letting out a low moan. My nerve endings had gone dull, senses numbing, all my thoughts thrown into the pits of chaos and assaulted by raging doubt and uncertainty. Who is that man? Am I that man? If that's me, then where did the me I used to be go? Who am I? My mind or my body? Which one is the real me? I don't know. Something has gone horribly wrong. The world wasn't the world I knew anymore. Now that I think about it, ever since I woke up, I'd been feeling a little strange, uneasy sense of, for the lack of a better word, incompatibility. Now I finally know the reason. I felt as if the world was starting to reject me, and slowly I began to disappear. Overwhelmed by loneliness and neglect, my own existence started to fade. Anxiety took over. Everything that I was replaced by a fear which made me want to scream out in desperation. Help! Somebody help me! I lost consciousness.